85 psi. Put
Cut in.
You'll cut in.
no, excuse me, cut in test. It's cut in no less than 85 psi. 1 foot application on my service brake. I'm gonna watch my gauge for 8 seconds and see where it cuts in. Well, at least I know y'all the first part of your air brake test.
They said 5 seconds too.
I'm saying 8 seconds so I can make sure. You can say 5, you can do 5, you can count 5, you can count 8, you can count 20 if you want to. As long as you know when it cuts in, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right, it cut in at 95 psi, so that's a good test. Now I'm gonna do my air gum cutout. It should cut out no more than 140 psi. I'm gonna let you know where it cuts out at. All right, it cut out at 125. That's a good test. Cut the bus off. Cut it back to the on position. Let my gauges settle. Next test I'm going to do is my static test 1. Let my gauge settle. Watch my gauge for 1 minute, and I should not lose no more than 2 psi. The minute starts now. Minute is up. I didn't lose any PSI, so that's a good test. Next test I'm gonna do is my static test 2. I'm gonna rest my parking brake. Allow my gauge to settle. Watch my gauge for 1 minute. I should lose no more than 2 PSI in 1 minute. Minute starts now. We're gonna say that's a minute. I didn't lose any PSI, so that's a good test. Next test I'm gonna do is my applied air loss test for 1 foot application on my service brake. Hold it for 1 minute. Watch my gauge, jizz, make sure it settles, and I can't lose no more than 3 psi in 1 minute. Did I say I'm gonna hold my service brake for 1 minute? I said it like that, right?
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna say my minute is up. I haven't lost any PSI. Next test I'm gonna do is my low air warning device test. My low air buzzer should come on. My low air light and buzzer should come on between 75 and 55 psi. I'm gonna repeatedly step on my service brake until that light or buzzer comes on. The light came on, it came on at 70 psi. So that's a good test, okay? Next test I'm gonna do is my spring brake pop-out test. I'm gonna continue to step on my service brake until it pops out. It should pop out between 45 and 20 psi. Popped out at, we'll call it 30 psi, so that's a good test. Next test I'm going to do is my pressure buildup test. Cut the bus completely on. I'm gonna watch the gauge. Once my needle hits 85, I'm going to start counting. Once it hits 100, I'm going to stop counting. It should get from 85 to 100, no more than 85 seconds, okay? This is my pressure buildup test. If I had chalks,
I think it's 45 seconds.
45.
what'd I say?
85.
Excuse me, 45 seconds. If I had chalks on the bus, I'd remove the chalks, but I don't think I put any down there.
No, I didn't see any.
Thank you for correcting me. That means I know y'all test. Shit, excuse me. Alrighty now, my gauge is at 85. Now I'll begin my count. I will stop counting at 100. Alright, my needles hit 100 and that was about 30 seconds, so that's a good test. Next test I'm going to do is my parking brake test. I'm going to put one full application service brake, put my bus in gear, take my foot off the service brake, and my bus should not move. My bus is not moving, so that's a good test. Next test I'm going to do is my service brake test. I'm going to put my foot back on the service brake, release my parking brake, cover my hand on the steering wheel, allow my bus to roll 35 miles an hour, come to a stop. My bus didn't pull to the left or to the right, so that means it's a good test. Next test I would do is my rear door interlock. I will open my rear door, take my foot off the service brake. The bus shouldn't move. I should have a dead gas pedal. Then I will put my foot back on the service brake, pull the parking brake, close the door, put the bus in neutral, pump the horn 3 times, and that would conclude my air brake test. That was a full pre-trip.
Good job.
You see I had structure in order.
Yes.
I had a system in place so I could